Hey everybody, thanks for joining me for class today. Today's a 30-minute beginner flow, just a well-rounded standing poses, warrior one and two. We'll be working in gate pose to stretch the sides a bit. Nothing too crazy, pretty basic class. We'll need one block if you want and have two, that's great as well. Right now I'm in a seated position, hero's pose with the block underneath. You can sit cross-legged if that's comfortable. You're welcome to sit up against a wall if that's even more comfortable for you. But join me in a seated position here. If you'd like to close the eyes, you may. Certainly don't have to. And just start to ground down. Turn the attention from external to internal. Invite some stillness and ease into your body. Begin to pay attention to your breath, and I challenge you to see if you can just let your breath be completely natural in your body. Try not to change or fix anything about your breath, and certainly don't judge your breath. For now, simply rest in breath awareness. We'll start today with a pretty easy breathing practice, Samavritti. But for now, again, watching your inhales and exhales. If you can, breathe in and out through the nose. So Samarvriti means equal sided, so we're going to breathe in for 4 and breathe out for 4. So for now, take an inhale and exhale to prepare. And then as you breathe in, we'll breathe in for 1, 2, 3, 4. And pause before you exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. 2 more rounds. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Remember, you're breathing equally on all sides. Last round. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. And exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Going back to just your natural breath, but I will encourage you to try to keep that idea of equal inhales and exhales. Now, join the palms in front of the heart. Take a moment, set an intention for practice this, whatever time of day it is, or day of the week it is for you, but take a moment to set an intention for your practice today. And then once your intention's been set, you can blink the eyes open. We'll come off of our seated position now to tabletop. So hands and knees. Make sure you have a neutral spine so the back's long. And then as you inhale, you can arch the spine, lift the gaze for cat pose. And then, sorry, that one was cow. And as you exhale, round the back, chin to chest for cat pose. As you inhale, arch the spine, lift the gaze for cow. Broaden across your collarbones, press into the ground. As you exhale, focus on drawing your belly in and up strongly. Let the head be dropped, between the shoulders. One more time, inhale, arch the spine, lift the gaze. Match your breath and movement as well here. As you exhale, around the back, chin to chest, push the earth away with the hands for cat. Inhale, come on back to a neutral tabletop position. So you can stay as you are on your mat and you can extend your right leg out to the side. But so that you can see me, I'm going to turn on my mat. Grab one of your blocks and place them on the outside of your left knee. If your right leg is extended, the block will be on the outside of the left knee. As you inhale, sweep the arms out and up. As you exhale, lean towards the block and let your hand rest on that block. And so your right leg is extended as if you were in warrior two, so your toes are parallel with the long edge of the mat, or the top or bottom of the mat. And as you breathe here, make sure the top shoulder is away from the ear. Remember, you can lift that block even if you need more height. On an exhale, bring the torso over and then bring the right hand to rest lightly on the right leg as the left arm comes up and over for the opposite side. Just be mindful that you're not having too much pressure, especially if your hand's rested on the knee. Moving a little fluidly, exhale. Once again, come back to that first side, left hand to the block. Inhale. As you exhale, come up and over, right hand to the leg. Inhale. As you exhale, left hand leaning with the right arm overhead. Inhale. Last time, exhale, come up and over, right hand to the leg. And then inhale, come to center. And then switch the legs. Bring the right leg in, Switch the block so the block comes on the outside of the right knee now and extend the left leg long. Again, toes are parallel with the long edge of the mat or the back or front of the mat. Inhale, reach the arms out and up. Exhale, lean towards the block. Hand can find the block or even the ground, depending. But like I said, you can also bring the block higher, setting if you need a little more height to find the ground. Top shoulder away from the ear. Inhale. As you exhale, coming up and over, left hand softly rests on the left leg. Avoid too much pressure on the knee. Right arm up and over. Inhale. And exhale. And then inhale, preparing for fluid motions. Exhale, come over, right hand to the block. Inhale. Exhale, left hand to the leg. Inhale. As you exhale, right hand to the block. Inhale. And exhale. Left hand to the leg, right arm up and over. Inhale here. Exhale, come to center. Bring both your leg back in, left leg back in, and then we're going to go back to tabletop position. Block can be put off to the side. We'll use it a little bit later. Excuse me. Cat and cow in between. Inhale, arch the spine, lift the gaze. As you exhale, round the back, chin to chest. And then inhale, come back to a neutral tabletop position for some more core warming. So start by extending your left leg behind you. Before you go anywhere, make sure all of your toes are pointed down to the ground. The hips leveled here, you're not opening out to the left side. And then if you feel like it and you're ready to, join the right arm so the opposite arm and leg reach. Find a steady gazing point if you're wobbly. That's okay. You can tuck your right toes for more support. You can stay, or as you exhale, knee towards elbow. Inhale, extend. Exhale, knee towards elbow. Inhale, extend, move slowly. Exhale, draw in. And then as you inhale, reach out. As you exhale, set the hand down, set the knee down, and maybe shake out your left wrist. We'll do the other side. Extend the right leg behind. Again, make sure all 5 of your right toes are pointed down to the ground. When you're ready, opposite arm, left arm joins the right. Again, you're welcome to stay here as this is challenging enough. Stay, build your strength, and focus on your breath. Or inhale, get longer. As you exhale, knee towards elbow. Inhale, extend. Again, you can tuck those left toes if you need a little more support. Exhale, knee towards elbow. Inhale, extend. Exhale, draw it in. And I do encourage you, any of these kneeling positions, inhale, reach out. Grab something, a blanket, or even fold your mat back. Exhale, release that position. And put some extra cushion under the knees. For now, let's send the hips back towards the heels, child's pose. Arms are still extended in front of you. Forehead may or may not be on the ground. Just reset your breath here. Soften the face and jaw. As you inhale, gaze forward, snake the body through. Exhale, lie flat. We'll be on the belly here, prone position for some back bends, gentle back bends. Bend the elbows so the hands are right under the shoulders. Your toes are long behind you. Inhale, prepare. As you exhale, get longer as you lift the torso and the head. Inhale, lower, light pressure in the hands. Exhale again, think of getting longer as you lift the head and chest. Inhale, lower, last time. Pause at the top. Exhale, lift, pause. If you really want to make sure you're working, keep yourself honest. Lift the hands, hover the hands off the mat. Exhale, lower down. Lightly press into the tops of the feet there. Use your legs in those back bends. And then from here, tuck the toes through tabletop position. Now we'll go to downward facing dog. Once you're in downward facing dog, your feet are hips distance apart, hands or shoulders distance. You could even go wider with the arms and with the hands and the feet. Feel free to bend your knees, maybe sway the hips side to side, nod the head yes and no. And especially if your hamstrings feel tight, just keep a bend in the knees. That's no problem. It's all right if your heels aren't touching the mat. That's fine. Make sure your heels are hiding behind your middle toes though. Come back to your breath, and then as you exhale, walk the hands to the back of the mat towards the feet for forward fold. As you inhale, bring the fingers to the shins, take a halfway lift. As you exhale, fold over into ragdoll. So when you're in ragdoll, you'll make a frame around the head and neck by bending at the elbows. Again, I really do encourage you, feel free to bend your knees really deeply here. Also feel free to add in movement. You can nod the head still. You might be swaying the torso side to side. Let your head be really heavy and the tension just roll from the back off. Exhale, release the hands down to the ground. Inhale, fingers to the shins. Take a halfway lift. As you exhale, refold. And then really sink the hips low. Take your time, rise to standing. And really do keep your chin tucked in the whole time until you uncurl and stand nice and tall. And you might roll the shoulders back and down. So we're at the back of the mat still. Feet are hips distance apart. On an inhale, you'll reach the arms out and up. You can lift the gaze. As you exhale, fold over your legs. On your inhale, again, fingers to the shins, take a halfway lift. As you exhale, walk forward into plank pose, and then step the right foot on the outside of the right hand. Inhale, reach the right arm up and twist. As you exhale, bring the right hand down. Step the right foot back to plank. Inhale, step your left foot on the outside of the left hand, reach the left arm up, twist. And then exhale, left hand down, step back with the left foot. And then just walk the hands back towards the feet once again, forward fold, back of the mat. Inhale, fingers to the shins, halfway lift. Exhale, fold over the legs, let your head be heavy. Inhale, rise, root down to rise up. This time, if you're ready to, you can sweep the arms out and up as you rise. On an exhale, hands to hearts. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up, Urdhva Hastasana. As you exhale, forward fold over the legs. Inhale, fingers to the shins, halfway lift. As you exhale, plank pose once again. And then lift the hips, downward facing dog. Steady your breath here. This time, inhale, rise to your toes, bend the knees, gaze forward, step the feet behind the wrists, forward fold. Top of the mat now. Inhale, halfway lift, fingers to the shins, or you could keep them on the ground. As you exhale, forward fold. Inhale, press down, sweep the arms out and up as you rise to standing. Exhale, hands to hearts. Sun A. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up. As you exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen. As you exhale, bend the knees, step back to plank pose. And then here, knees come down, chest come down, lower all the way. Exhale. Inhale, low or high cobra. As you exhale, downward facing dog. And you'll note in low and high cobra, your legs are still completely on the mat and your elbows are bent. Come back to your steady inhales and exhales. Release tension in the face. As you inhale, rise to the toes, bend the knees, gaze forward, still stepping the feet behind the wrists, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen your spine. As you exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, press down through the feet, root down to rise all the way to standing, again, sweeping the arms out and up. Exhale, hands come to the heart. Working with chair pose next. So we're going to work with chair pose today from this wider stance, feet or at least hips distance apart. If you want to go wider, you certainly can. And if you usually practice with your toes together, we're going to do something a little different today. So bend the knees, fingertips down and up, and then bring the hands to the waist. So your knees are bent. Check first to make sure your knees are pointed over the middle toes. And then if you want to, you can take your hands to your torso. Notice if your back is arched there. And then lengthen your tailbone down so the low back's long. You'll feel your belly draw towards the navel. And then keep the shoulders lifted as you reach the arms up. But not too long there. Bring the hands to the hips. Start to pour the weight into your right foot as you lift the left toes and then slide the left toes back so you're in a crescent lunge. Again, make sure the tailbone's long. There's no duck butt. You're no arched in the low back. And then reach the arms up for crescent. Find a steady gazing point. Inhale, lean forward for balance. Bring your hands to the waist. Exhale, drag that left foot back to the starting position. And then inhale to standing. Bring hands to prayer. As you exhale, chair pose once again. For balance, bring the hands to the waist. Start to pour the weight into your left foot. Lift the right toes. Slide the right foot back. Inhale, and then again, crescent lunge. And I like to bend my back knee a little bit, especially for these first ones, to really make sure my tailbone's long. And if you'd like, inhale, reach the arms up. And then inhale, hands to waist, lean forward. If you'd like, you can keep the hands off the waist to challenge your balance. Exhale, step the right foot up. Inhale to standing. Progressing that, inhale, hands to prayer. Exhale, bend the knees, chair pose. Again, feet or hips distance apart. You can keep the arms up, or for balance, bring the hands to the waist, pour the weight into the right foot, come onto your left toes, Slide the left foot back, inhale. Now imagine that your hip bones are like headlights on a car. First things first, heel toe your right foot a little more towards the outer edge of the foot to widen your stance, outer edge of the mat to widen your stance, and then keeping your headlight square to the front of the mat, spin your left heel down. Most likely your left hip will pull back, but the idea is your hips are square here. And then if you'd like, extend the arms up, lift the gaze slightly. Inhale, hands to waist. You'll have to lift your left heel and then slide forward to standing once again. Inhale to hands to prayer. Exhale, chair pose. Bend the knees, reach the arms up. Hands to the waist. Pour the weight into your left foot. Lift the right toes. Slide the right foot back to crescent lunge. Heel toe your left foot towards the outer edge of the mat. Widen your stance. And then spin the right heel down, trying to keep the hips square to the front of the mat. You can keep your hands at the waist or reach the arms up. And if you'd like, lift the gaze, but make sure the back of the neck isn't crunched and you're not really, leaning the head back. Bring your hands to the waist, inhale, spin the right heel up, lean forward, step forward with that right foot, and then stand because, yes, your legs are probably talking. The quadriceps are probably really on fire. Mine definitely were, but that's all right. That's what we're here to do. So step back with the left foot, take a nice wide stance, bring your hands to the waist, inhale, get long, and then exhale, forward fold. You can release your hands down to the mat, or grab your blocks. They're there. You can place the hands on the block, or maybe depending how far down you go, you could place your head on the block. Make sure your legs are really engaged. Hug outer hips, inner thighs towards one another, and squeeze your leg muscles to the bones. Release your head. Come back to your steady breath. Make sure you're not clenching in the face or the jaw or the teeth. As you inhale, take a halfway lift, lengthen. A little bit of strength here. Exhale, bring your hands to the waist with a flat back. Inhale, rise to standing. Turn your right toes to face the front of the mat. Inhale, tee the arms out. As you exhale, bend the right knee into warrior two. But one more time, inhale, straighten the right leg. Widen your stance if you need to. Exhale, bend the front knee over the middle toe, warrior two. Back toes are parallel. Steady gaze over your front fingertips. Inhale, lean back, reverse warrior. Again, soft pressure on the hand with the back leg, not too much pressure on the knee there. Inhale, come back to warrior two. Exhale, straighten the front leg. Turn those toes to parallel. Now turn your left toes out. Inhale, tee the arms out. Exhale, bend the knee. Warrior two. Inhale, straighten. Widen your stance if you need. And then exhale again, mindful that your front knee is over the middle toe, not knocking inwards towards the big toe. And reach out through your arms. Inhale now, lean back with the arms, reverse warrior. Make sure you stay bent in your front knee and not too much pressure on your back knee with the hand. Inhale, back up to warrior two. Exhale, straighten your legs, turn both toes to parallel, heel toe your feet together, or you could hop your feet together. And then we'll come to the top of the mat. Bring hands to prayer, come back to your breath, revisit your intention. And inhale, sweep the arms out and up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, forward fold over the legs. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen your spine, fingers to the shins or on the ground. Exhale, step back to plank pose, this time a full chaturanga, lowering halfway down. Exhale, inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. That's just an option. You don't have to take the full vinyasa. You can stick with having the knees down and going to high cobra instead of up dog. Inhale, step the right foot up by the hand, spin the left heel down, warrior two once again. And then exhale, straighten your front leg, triangle pose. If you want to shorten your stance, walk your back foot in. And then inhale, lean over the right thigh. Exhale, bring the right hand down to your shin or a block. Look up towards the left hand, if that's all right with your neck. And then bring your left hand to the waist. Now look down at your right toe. Grab a block, place it in front of the pinky toe side of the foot, and then pick your back leg up for half moon pose. Make sure your back leg is flexed, the foot is flexed, so the toes are facing the side. Your left arm is extended. You may or may not be looking up, and you could have your left hand on the waist still for balance. Slowly start to rebend your right knee, land your left foot in warrior two. Move your block to the other side of the mat as you cartwheel the hands down to the ground. Option to take a vinyasa here. Exhale, lower. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, down dog. But you could always skip the vinyasas and just step the foot back to downward facing dog. Inhale, step the left foot in between the hands, spin the right heel down, cartwheel your arms open, warrior two. On your exhale, straighten the front leg, shorten the stance if you'd like one. For triangle pose, inhale, lean over your left thigh, and then bring the left hand down to your shin or a block. Looking up if that's all right with your neck. And then bring the right hand to your waist now, look down at your left big toe, grab that block, place your left hand about 6 inches in front on the pinky toe side of the foot on that block. And then if you'd like to and you feel steady enough to, you could extend your right arm. There's my cat in the shot, and then you can look up or stay looking down for balance. Again, flex your toes, the right toes towards the wall. And then slowly start to rebend your left foot to land in warrior two. Inhale. Exhale, bring the hands down. From plank pose, you can take a vinyasa, or you can go right to downward facing dog. Exhale, lower. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. Back to your steady breath. You can take a child's pose if you need to, or another breath here in downward facing dog. You can always take a breath whenever, or break, really, whenever you need to. You can push the pause button and join once you feel ready. If you're ready to move on, inhale to plank pose. Knees up or down, slowly lower to the ground, all the way to the ground. Untuck your toes, bring the arms down by your sides. Forehead center on the mat. And take an inhale to prepare, and then as you exhale, lift the chest, fly the arms down by the sides, lift your legs for locust variation. Think of making the banana shape with the body, so you're getting longer as you lift. And then exhale, lower. You can turn the head and let one ear rest on the mat. Option for the second round, you can keep the arms by the sides, or if you'd like, extend your biceps by the ears so the fingers reaching in front of you. Forehead on the ground. Inhale, prepare. As you exhale, lift the arms, lift the legs, locust. Again, if it's too challenging with the arms in front, and it might be, that's perfectly fine. Bring your arms down by the sides, or practice low cobra. That's great too. Inhale to get longer, and then as you exhale, swim the arms down if they were in front. Turn the head, the opposite ear can rest on the mat now. And then go ahead and bend both of your knees and windshield wiper your legs side to side. Bring some little relief to the low back there. And then inhale your legs long. As you exhale, bend the elbows, hands under the shoulders, send your hips back, child's pose. Back to your steady inhales and exhales. Revisit your intention here. And then come on up to a seated position. Swing the legs around, have a block close by, and you're going to slowly lower all the way down onto your back. Make sure your chin stays tucked into your chest as you lower down, just to really safely lower. And we're going to do figure four here. First, we're going to hug the knees into the chest, though. Hug the knees into the chest, gently rock a little side to side, Apanasana, wind relieving pose. And then place your left foot on the ground, cross your right ankle over your left knee. You can stay there, or if it feels like you have space to, you can pick the feet up and hug the knees a little closer. And you can grab either on your left hamstring, that's the back of the leg, or you might be able to interlace your fingers on your left shin. Just notice that your shoulders are not crept up by your ears and that your forehead's relaxed. You're not squinting in the eyes. Your breath is nice and long. Exhale, release that side. And then left ankle crosses over the right knee. You can stay there with the right foot on the ground, or you can pick the right foot up, draw that a little bit closer, and either grab on the hamstring, that's the back of the right leg, or on the right shin. Shoulders are down, relaxed away from the ears, and the breath is long. Inhale. And as you exhale, you can go ahead and release the pose. Hug the knees into the chest, and then tee the arms out. Make sure you have your block is away from the sides of the mat. Bring it closer to the head because we're going to twist. So tee the arms out and then let both of your knees fall to the left side. Notice as you let your knees fall to the left, if you feel your right shoulder start to lift off of the mat, stop with the knees and grab one of your blocks and place the blocks under the knees. You want to keep your shoulders, both of your shoulders, grounded here. And if it's all right with your neck, you might turn the gaze to look towards the right arm, or you can keep the gaze straight up. Inhale, and on an exhale, bring your legs back to center, and then let both of your knees fall to the right side. Again, as your knees start to fall to the right, as soon as you feel your left shoulder start to lift, grab a block, place the block under the knees so that your shoulders stay grounded. The twist stays isolated to your spine. You can keep your gaze straight up towards the sky, or I'm outside, so I'm looking at the sky, but you might not be. You can keep your gaze straight up towards whatever is above you, or you can turn your head to look over the left shoulder. If you feel pain there, no need. Inhale. And as you exhale, bring your knees back to center. Again, hug the knees into the chest. Grab your block now, place the feet on the ground, lift your hips, slide the block underneath, let your hips rest on the block. You can stay right here. This is a great pose, just where you are, with the arms by the sides, the feet on the ground, knees bent, or you could walk your feet long so that the heels rest towards the top of the mat. It'll give you a stretch for the hip flexors, or one of my favorites is to bend the knees, pick the feet up, send the feet up towards the sky, kind of like a variation on legs up the wall pose. And I could have easily turned around and, did legs up the wall pose, but I had the block, and just this pose is really easy to get into whenever you do have a block and really restorative. A gentle inversion. You can keep the arms by the sides, or it's sometimes nice to put a hand on the belly and a hand on the heart. We won't take this into our Shavasana pose today, but you certainly are welcome to. We'll enjoy a few more rounds of breath here. Obviously, we are definitely at the end of the class, so we're starting to cool things off. If you want to let your breath go nice and easy, once again, just observing your natural breath, go right ahead. So if you're ready to, and if you choose to, move into traditional final resting pose position where you're just flat on the back, you can bring your feet down to the ground, and please move slowly transitioning. There's certainly no need to rush these transitions. Feet on the ground, lift the hips very gently, remove the block from underneath you. If it's all right and it feels okay to have your legs extended long, the arms down by the sides, you can take that position. Sometimes it feels better to have your knees bent, feet flat, and your knees knocking in towards one another instead of having the legs long. Release your breath control. Our quote today comes from a heart. It reads, "The most difficult thing is the decision to act. The rest is merely tenacity." So you did it. You showed up for your practice today. Letting any judgments of how you think things went go. Simply just enjoying these last few minutes in final resting pose. Begin to make some movements in your fingers and toes. Circle the wrists and the ankles. Move the arms and legs, however feels nice. If you'd like to, you're certainly welcome to take a full body stretch. And then take your time, bend the knees, roll off onto the side of your choosing. Pause a minute in the fetal position and think of something to be grateful for. Once you're ready, slowly rise. Join me in a seated position once again. And join the palms in front of the hearts. If you'd like to close the eyes, you may, you don't have to. But one last time, honor your intention for class today. And then join me by bringing the hands to the forehead to remind us to have clear and loving thoughts. Bring the hands to the heart to remind us to have clear and loving intentions. And bring the hands to the mouth to remind us to have clear and loving communications. And we'll send out positive energy to all beings everywhere. Thank you for joining me for class today. Namaste. I have another restorative, gentler video uploaded, a restorative 30-minute class. So if you've never tried a restorative video, join me for that. See you next time. Aloha.